Alright, what is up guys? Brian here, and this is my WWE SmackDown Live review for tonight's episode of SmackDown. I am recording this at 9:05 p.m. on Tuesday night. SmackDown has ended, so let's get right into it. What a show it was. What a main event they had. They did have a couple of good matches on this show tonight, so let's get right into the review or recap. We started off with the United States title on the line. AJ Styles defending against Kevin Owens. Of course, Styles won the title last week in a triple threat match over Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens after losing it 2 nights before at Battleground to Kevin Owens. So Kevin Owens getting his rematch on tonight's SmackDown. This was an amazing matchup that saw a controversial ending, which would lead to a match being set up at SummerSlam. Kevin Owens at the end of near the end of the match was going to punch AJ Styles. Styles ducked. Owens wound up punching the referee. He would try to hit Styles with the pop-up powerbomb. Styles would reverse it into a pinning combination. However, the controversy in this one was the referee did not see Kevin Owens' shoulder was up, and thus still counted to 3, and pretty much awarded the match to AJ Styles. So Styles retains. Afterwards, in the backstage area, the referee was being checked on by the medical physician, as well as Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon. Of course, an irate Kevin Owens walked up, wanting to know what the heck was that. The referee made a bad call. Shane McMahon agreed that Kevin Owens had his shoulder was up, and that he had a legitimate gripe. Thus, he gave him a rematch for SummerSlam to challenge AJ Styles for the United States title. And then Kevin Owens was like, you know what, I want a referee that's going to call it right down the middle, all this stuff that has 2 eyes, that's not going to make a mistake. Daniel Bryan would then come up and say, fine, you know what, you want a referee for the match with you and Styles? It's going to be Shane McMahon. It's going to be the referee. So then, Kevin Owens agreed, said fine, whatever. So the match is set for SummerSlam. AJ Styles defending the United States title against Kevin Owens with Shane McMahon as the special guest referee. So that is going to be an interesting coming up on Sunday night, August the 20th, which is 2 weeks from this Sunday. Moving on in the card, we had a segment with the Usos, who basically came out and mocked the New Day. Of course, last week at Battleground, they lost the tag team titles to the New Day, and then last week on SmackDown, the Usos jumped the New Day backstage and left them laying. They then came out and pretty much mocked them. And that was pretty much it for this segment. Another match that took place was Aiden English taking on Sami Zayn. This one, it seemed like it had started and then it was over, with Aiden English scoring the win over Sami Zayn in a surprising victory, in my opinion. And then, of course, Mike and Maria Kanellis would come out and basically say they love the fact that Sami Zayn lost the match. So obviously, this feud between Sami Zayn, Mike Kanellis, and Maria Kanellis is not over, even though Sami Zayn did pick up a huge victory at Battleground over Mike Kanellis. I don't see this feud ending anytime soon. Moving on, we had another segment, this time involving Breezango. Of course, Tyler Breeze, this time around, has been looking to see, find out who abducted Fandango. He basically, this segment on SmackDown tonight was actually pretty funny. Tyler Breeze was in the office, in the whatever it is, the squad room or whatever of Breezango, looking at, he was like recording a message. He then he would see Fandango coming, and lights would go red, and then you would see the Ascension standing with Fandango in the middle of them, and then it would turn out to be a dream that Tyler Breeze had, but he kind of thinks that the Ascension abducted Fandango. So that'll be interesting to see what happens there. Another match another match that took place. This one involved the women. Of course, we had the SmackDown Women's Champion Naomi. She teamed up with Becky Lynch to take on the team of Natalya, the number one contender for the SmackDown Women's title, as well as Miss Money in the Bank Carmella. This was actually a pretty good matchup. It wasn't really exciting, but it was a pretty good matchup involving these four. Naomi scored the win for her team when she made Carmella tap out to that submission that she has now. She's added to her repertoire. So a big victory and a little bit of momentum built for Naomi going into her SmackDown Women's title defense against Natalya at SummerSlam. But of course, she also has to keep an eye out on Carmella, because Carmella does have that Money in the Bank briefcase that she could cash in at any time. Moving on the SmackDown card, we had Rusev taking on Chad Gable. This was Chad Gable's first match as a singles competitor since finding out that about Jason Jordan being Kurt Angle's son and all this stuff, that whole storyline they have on Raw. And this was actually a pretty good matchup as well. This could have gone either way, but Rusev, coming off the heels of that loss at Battleground, really wanted to prove himself, and that is exactly what he did. He defeated Chad Gable with the accolade, making Gable tap out. Afterwards, he would get on the mic, that being Rusev, basically saying that he doesn't have a match for SummerSlam because everybody's scared of him. And who would come out to answer the challenge? None other than the Viper, Randy Orton, who would come out and pretty much say, you want a match for SummerSlam? You look no further than Randy Orton, than me. And Rusev would try to attack Randy Orton, and Orton would hit the RKO on Rusev. So another match has been signed for SummerSlam. Rusev taking on Randy Orton in a one-on-one matchup. So that should be a big match for the SmackDown side, along with that SmackDown Women's title match, as well as the United States title on the line as well. And then, of course, that brings us to the main event. It was for the number one contender spot at SummerSlam for the WWE Championship. The winner would face Jinder Mahal at SummerSlam for that WWE Championship. It was John Cena taking on Shinsuke Nakamura. And you want to talk about incredible matches that could have gone either way. These two guys they brought their best. And if anybody wants to check it out, I would recommend looking and seeing any kind, wherever you can find it, any clip of the match. I would recommend checking it out, because this was an incredible match. There were a couple of near falls. John Cena, hitting an AA on Shinsuke Nakamura. Nakamura kicking out. Nakamura, or Cena locking in the STF on Nakamura. Nakamura reversing it into like a cross arm breaker. Then Nakamura locking in some different submissions like the cross arm breaker, the triangle choke. This was an incredible match. In the end, it was John Cena taking a sick back suplex type move from Nakamura, and then Nakamura finally finishing Cena off with the Kinshasa to finally put Cena down, put Cena away, and thus Nakamura is now the number one contender for the WWE Championship and will face Jinder Mahal for that championship at SummerSlam in Brooklyn. And honestly, in my opinion, this may be the toughest test for Jinder Mahal since becoming WWE Champion coming up at SummerSlam. So, but like I said, this was an incredible main event between Nakamura and Cena. First time ever, and Nakamura coming out on top. So, my overall thoughts on SmackDown, I thought it was actually a pretty good show. A lot better than Raw was on Monday. So, if you guys watched last night's SmackDown, let me know what you guys thought of it in the comments below. This has been my quick recap of what took place on tonight's SmackDown Live broadcast. As always, I am Brian, and thank you for watching.